Hello, those watching the replay. Sorry, I forgot to. Actually, my doesn't need to be raised up that much. Maybe I'll try. I usually raise up my computer. So I forgot about that. I think it was a little better raised. Sorry for this. Okay, lighting's good. Everything's good. So if you're watching the replay, welcome. This is the very beginning before I even went into the Facebook group. So I'm now going to share this video, and this is on the hormones related to midlife weight gain. So let's get this live, go live on Facebook. Wonder if I can do Facebook and YouTube at the same time. That would be cool. Whoop. Someone screaming in the background. You guys probably can't hear that, but anyways, good. Someone screaming at their kids. Oh, this is crazy. It's not doing, yeah, there we go. There's my group. Let's go live. Okay, looks like it's going live in there. Perfect. Excellent. I don't know if we can do live on YouTube at the same time too. No, I can't. Okay, there we go. Thought I'd try. I'm also on YouTube. So for anybody who is watching me, maybe for the first time, or maybe you're quite new to me, welcome and hello. I'm also on YouTube. So I've been doing YouTube videos. That was actually how I really started in 2010 or 11. And you can find me just under my name, Diana Marchand. And when I was really high into raw foods. That's how I started on YouTube. So I used to do raw food cooking classes and help women, coach them through that and healthy eating. And then I started getting into the midlife stuff when I started going through the midlife change. So my YouTube has a lot of variety of different things on it. And yeah, you might want to check it out. Also, recipe videos. I used to do a lot of recipe videos. Hello. Oh, I'm just trying to see my, oh, there's my video. I'm just on my phone here. Check it out. Also, recipe videos. There we go. Because I thought I may be able to see comments better from my phone. So hello. I'm just going to let the Facebook group know that I'm live. So I'm going to go back to the Facebook group and let them know that I'm live. Sorry for those watching the recording. You can just skim through this. I know it is a little bit of, because it restarted the recording right away. And that's kind of just the way it went. Okay. So here we are. Say hello when you come on. Let me know you're watching, even if it's the replay. I would love to know who's watched. Oh, I see that. It's doing subtitles. So let's see. I don't know how that's going to work out, but anyways, it's doing them automatically. I don't know how I did it. So that's okay. That's kind of funny. Okay. Oopsie. So if you are new to me, if you just found out about me and this group through me posting about this session that I'm doing here, welcome. Let me know that you're new and how you found me. I really do hang out in this group. I don't do a lot on my personal page regarding this. I just find it's easier to be in one place. So if you know anybody who's interested, is like, oh my God, someone else needs to know this knowledge, please have them join the group or invite them into the group. The more, the better. Of course, I want to spread this message to everybody and really, because there's not a lot of information about this, right? Not at all. And I think it's so important for women. And I'm now just trying to find my Zoom page. Okay, here it is. Okay, so like I said, let me know you're on live. Hello. I do have some slides, so I'm doing this from Zoom so that I can share my screen and show you guys some slides. because this is a lot to cover. All right. Now I have done other presentations like this. You can also look under guides in this group under the big header picture. There's a menu little bar called guides. You can look under guides and you will see that I also have some more like webinar type trainings that you can look through if you're interested in this type of thing and you want to learn more. And when you watch the replay of this, that's when you can stop it and take notes, do screenshots, of course, because there's a lot of information sometimes at first when you're going through this for the first time or learning this stuff for the first time, right? So remember that this video will be saved in this Facebook group, so you will be able to go back to it and watch it, which is great. I have so many things open. It's, I'm just trying to get back to the, no. Okay, because we're going to start sharing the screen. Okay. I cannot see the comments. Oh my goodness, how am I going to see the questions? Okay, I want you guys to make sure that you ask questions, comment, really participate, and it's your time too. So you can ask me questions, even if it doesn't really relate to this aspect of it, anything that has to do with even the mindset or midlife wellness, things like that, let me know, because that's what I'm here for right now. Okay. And before, I also just want to let you know that I do one-on-one coaching. So you can just do one session with me and you get tons of recipes and handouts that'll help you. And I talk specifically to you and get you started on the right path for you. Each woman is different, each and every woman. So when I do my programs and classes, I don't tell people they need to eat meat, not eat meat, whatever, because we work with you specifically on what works for you, right? And gaining that knowledge about it yourself. This is the most important thing, and I cannot stress that enough. People are looking so much outside of themselves for what will work. Oh my God, I have this weight gain. Like if there's one magic pill or there's one magic answer, there isn't. There is body, mind, and spirit, because that is health. That is holistic health. And without all of those together, your body will not come into better balance, okay? It will not, because so hormones, for one thing, ladies, hormones affect all aspects of our body, okay? They affect our weight, yes, our energy levels, our emotional state, how we handle stress, right? How our organs function, how we detoxify, okay? So everything. So when your body's out of balance, there's not just one thing, and one hormone can affect another hormone. So it's like a domino effect. You could start by just being out of balance in one area or one thing. And what it does is it just creates bang, 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 bang. And all these problems start to arise. And you're like, oh my God, what went on? I was perfectly fine. And now all of a sudden this, right? Or I was only having problems with this. Now this is starting to happen. And then this is starting to happen, right? So it's a real compound effect when it comes to hormones. And stress can affect it hugely. Your emotions, the energy of the environment you are living in, staying in, whether you've had past traumas in your life, whether it's been emotional trauma, stress trauma, or even things like operations or physical trauma to your body, all of those things affect the balance of your body too. And when women come into midlife, this phase of life, your body is going through already, begins to go through some huge changes and imbalances. So when you already had those other things going on in your life, and now you're adding these changes, it just compiles and it's like, whoa, right? Whoa. Everything just becomes so much amplified. So it's kind of like when you're in the midlife phase, your emotions are times 10. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Your physical symptoms. So it's like, if you have, there we go. Oh my goodness. If you had bad PMS before, right? You could end up having, oh my God, your mood swings would be outrageous during perimenopause, right? Things like that, aches and pains, sinus problems, digestive problems. So I had digestive problems in my 20s and starting from my 20s, and they got so bad during perimenopause that's what really started me to begin to really change things. And then the weight gain and stuff. So I am going to see if I can find, see if anybody's commented right now. Yeah, here we go. I finally found the page. Okay, let's see if anybody's commented. Make sure to say hello. Let me know if you have questions. I don't see any comments yet. Have you guys commented? Say hello, whoever's watching. And I'm going to start sharing my screen so we can get started on the training. Okay. Why is it stuck? Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen now. There we go. I'm moving so much around. Okay. Where am I now? Sorry about this, you guys. It is okay. I can kind of see it there. All right. Hormones relating to midlife weight gain during menopause. But as we're going to find out, you're going to find out a little bit about what is actually menopause. Why? I mean, we refer to this whole phase of life like menopause. We just clump it under all one thing, but really, there's so much more to that. So what I do now is I help women through the midlife phase and beyond. I empower them to take charge of your body, mind, and health, body, mind, and soul, or spirit, whatever, right? Really your health, holistic health, the whole body, all of you. Women learn how to bring their body back into better balance by finding the right foods for you, each individual person. And there are some that are, yes, totally required for this phase of life. Decreasing stress and letting go of patterns, behaviors, and habits that are not working for you anymore. So we do the mindset, really big on the mindset stuff, right? Because you can have all the equipment, you can have all the recipes, you can have all the knowledge, but you're not sticking with it. You're not doing it. You're wondering what's going on, right? So it's really about vibrant energy, which is possible, health, and weight loss in this phase of life. I've studied nutrition, hormones specific to this phase of life. I've been a raw food chef, personal trainer, post-rehab conditioning specialist, and yoga instructor. So that is my background. I've been in health and wellness. I started at a fitness center when I was 16 years old. So it's kind of like wellness. Why? Because wellness and health to me is freedom. And freedom is my number one value. My number one important thing in my whole life is being free, freedom of choice, having freedom of choice. So when you have health, you have freedom of choice more so, right? If you don't have health, there's a lot of things that can restrict you. And of course, don't you want to walk around feeling better, right? Absolutely. So this is where you can find me now. My website is kind of older, you guys. I don't update it as much. Where I really hang out is in this group, Women Creating Healthy Lives. If you're watching from YouTube, please come and join us there. And I also have a YouTube channel, Diana Marchand, and come and subscribe there. Awareness. So that's what we're going to start with. Where are you now? Where are you now? And it may be like, I don't know what phase I'm in. And lots of women ask me, how do I know what phase I'm in of this midlife thing? Or you could be post-menopause and go on, but shouldn't I be completely balanced in post-menopause? Why am I still having the weight gain? Why am I still having these problems? Because it doesn't matter your age. If your hormones out of balance, you're going to be having problems, right? And what used to work does not work anymore. And even with some of the healthy foods, some of the healthy foods in this phase of life actually cause weight gain, which is part of why it's so confusing. And what I find is that most women are not eating enough of the right foods for this phase of life. So yes, it's easy to say I'm eating healthy foods. And when you tell me, I'm like, yeah, those are healthy foods, but they're not enough of the right foods. And you're eating some of the healthy foods that actually cause weight gain in this phase of life. So that's a huge part of the weight gain. Both of those things, not eating enough of the right foods and eating some of the other foods that actually cause weight gain right now. So in this series, presentation today, I'm going to be talking about the hormones, okay? So the phases of midlife, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. Perimenopause are the years leading up to menopause. So they're the years when you probably still have your period. Now, if you have had a hysterectomy, of course, it's always hard to tell. This is a really tricky one. But so it's years leading up when if you would be in your early 40s, sometimes late 30s now, which is crazy. Some women are still having their period in their 50s. Okay, so every person is different. And that is the biggest fluctuating change. So most people talk about menopausal symptoms. It's actually more perimenopause symptoms. In menopause, if you've taken really good care of your body, changed what you eat, decreased your stress, worked on yourself, your inner self, all those types of things, and brought your body back into better balance, then by post-menopause, you can be actually feeling really good. That's what I did. I did everything in perimenopause. Then when post-menopause, I was like, oh my God, like I feel like hi, Kimberly, hi, Stephanie. I feel like the clouds, everything opened up and I'm like, oh my God, post-menopause is so much better. But also I took care of myself through those phases, right? I'm surprised we only have 2 people on here. Ladies in this group, when you see this, I am serious. It's time to take care of yourselves. And that means you're learning what you can do. That's why I do these trainings. So I highly recommend jumping on the trainings and using this time to ask me questions too, right? Because you can keep complaining and complaining that you don't know the answers, you don't have the answers, you don't know what to do. But if you're not actively looking, right, and actively working on things and investigating yourself, nothing's going to change, right? Nothing's going to change unless you actually do something that makes changes in your life. Okay, so these are the phases, and menopause is just when you haven't had your period for 1 full year. Basically, then you're post-menopause. So it's like you said, menopause, the tiniest part of the whole thing. Post-menopause is the longest, and then perimenopause is next. Now we're going to talk about some of the hormones involved. These are the hormones you hear about when it comes to menopause and post-menopause and perimenopause symptoms. And then on the next page, we're going to look at some of the hormones you may not think affect it. Progesterone. So if you just look at these symptoms, right, how progesterone affects. So progesterone regulates menstrual cycles. So when progesterone starts to decrease, you end up with irregular cycles, harder to get pregnant. Okay. So progesterone is the first hormone that starts to decrease. So estrogen, progesterone, they're never completely balanced. But let's say when your progesterone starts to decrease, what happens is then your estrogen is a bit higher, right? So then look at the high estrogen symptoms, right? So this is, we have progesterone decreasing, your estrogen gets a bit higher at that time. So, I mean, you got to look at those symptoms. And a lot of the same symptoms are for all of them. So it's just because the hormone imbalance of these hormones causes these symptoms, basically, right? So we get all of these symptoms because of these hormones that are changing and going up and down. And our hormones change every day, all the time. They can be affected by what we eat. So it's not like you can measure them once and think, oh, this is exactly what it is. No, they change in all the time. They never stop changing. Post-menopause, they're still changing. They're still fluctuating. But you can learn to regulate them in a way that helps you to feel better, right? So estrogen, high estrogen is very dangerous. It's actually, there's a lot of cancers that are affected by estrogen too. And there are 3 kinds of estrogens. There's good estrogen and bad estrogen, which we're not going to go into too deeply today. And then in post-menopause, your hormones are really decreasing. So you'll end up with a lot of low estrogen symptoms. And then of course, testosterone, right, starts to greatly decrease too as we age. So as we age, especially post-menopause, we have more problems with lack of bone loss, muscle loss, sex drive loss, all of those things, right? It's like, woo, plummet, right? So those are the main ones for this phase of life. Then we have cortisol and insulin, which are greatly affected. And these 2 are so linked to the midlife weight gain. Really linked to midlife weight gain. High cortisol, yep, that's definitely going to cause the weight gain, whether you're midlife or not. Actually, when person is under high consistent amounts of stress nonstop, your body is in fight or flight. You're in like just survival mode. When a person's just survival mode, fight or flight, your body in its wisdom tends to shut down certain systems or slow them down so that you have more energy, so that more energy is given to be able to produce cortisol and adrenaline to keep you moving. You know, when you're being chased by a tiger or greatly in danger, you got to run. You got to be on the move. You don't want to be having to go to the bathroom. You don't want to be detoxifying. You don't want to be burning calories, because then, oh my God, you might end up completely bonked, like so tired you burn through all your calories, you can't run anymore, right? All of those things. So high cortisol, right? Now, why I'm talking about these things right here is these are the results of prolonged high cortisol and how they affect other hormones. So it causes some of these symptoms, right? The mood swings, anxiety, because the high cortisol actually causes problems with other hormones that affect your moods. So that's a huge part of it. So we don't even realize that, right? You're like, it's just stress. It's just stress. There's nothing I can do about it. Or I just have to be like this. It's my work. I can't, or people are stressing me out. There's nothing I can do, right? Well, you better find something to do, because it is so dangerous. And they have pretty much linked every disease, the beginning of every disease, to high stress. And what I want to say about this also is, what did I want to say about it? Right. Cancer. So like cancer and stuff. So we all kind of had genes that for cancer, right? And some people are predisposed, whatever you want to say, for certain illnesses and disease and autoimmune diseases too. Some people may get them, some people may not get them. So there's almost like they have to be turned on. Those genes have to be turned on, and then bam, you're going into producing cancer cells and all that. So some people will do it, some people don't. What causes them to be turned on is your lifestyle. And the number one thing is stress. Okay. Stress will turn on anything that may be dormant in your system that may not have ever bothered you if your lifestyle was not the way it was. What you eat, because what you eat can cause stress in your body. When you're eating foods that are not good for your body, that are causing inflammation within your body, that actually your body's sensitive to, or that your body's reacting in a bad way to, that all causes stress. That can, too much of the stress build up in all areas, your emotional stress, your physical stress, too much exercise, exercising in the wrong way, eating the wrong types of foods, your body being full of toxins, all of these things, eating things that you're allergic to, and you don't even realize that, right? All of those things are also extra stress to your body. So this consistent high stress, cortisol is pumping, and that can turn on so many illness and disease. So people don't realize that was actually the reason why it started, right? So if they would have just managed their life from the very beginning, they may not have ever ended up with those things, okay? So it's interesting to look at low cortisol, which not many people have, but low cortisol could also be that you've depleted your body so much that now you burned out your adrenal glands and they're not producing cortisol or adrenaline like they used to. And so you become apathetic, really exhausted, really tired, completely burnt out, okay? So when all of that's going on, your body will not release weight. Your body will not detoxify properly. And you cannot sleep properly. So all of those things are needed for your body to heal and rejuvenate and regenerate. So if none of that's happening, your body's not going to get better, right? So we really need to think about this stress thing. Insulin's another one. Cortisol will affect insulin. So if you've got this cortisol thing happening, you could end up with insulin problems. And then you could end up in something called insulin resistance, which you will not lose weight. Pretty much so much of what you eat just goes to fat, goes to fat. And it keeps you in this hormone loop. Very dangerous, not good for your body at all. Can cause, of course, type 2 diabetes. So anybody with type 2 diabetes, most likely you have had this insulin resistance. Anybody with a lot of belly fat that they cannot lose at all, pretty close. You could have insulin resistance too. If you experience some of these things, thirst, hunger, feeling hungry after a meal, increased frequent urination, tingling in hands or feet, feeling more tired than usual, because high stress, consistent high stress lowers your immune system. Okay, it lowers your immune system. And that's why you catch things, right? And it's so hard on your organs, you guys, so hard on your organs. And then your glands can't produce the hormones properly. So your body stays out of balance, and it becomes even more out of balance when you continue with this stressed state of your body. You just see what Stephanie had. It's funny because I'm postmenopausal and I don't know any of this stuff. I don't think my doctor ever tested. No, your doctor doesn't learn about, any doctor doesn't learn about hormones. So any MDs don't learn hormones, and they don't learn nutrition. I've had doctors for clients, and I also dated a doctor, and I did not know that until he told me that. He was training to be a cardiologist years ago. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is when I was starting to get into hormones, right? And he's like, well, I can't. I said, oh, maybe you can help me. And he goes, I don't know anything about hormones. We're not taught hormones. We're only taught hormones when we want to specialize in hormones. So note that when you go to your MD, they're not taught anything about hormones or nutrition at all. So they cannot treat you for those things. Unfortunately, the drug companies come in and say, if women are experiencing these problems and they're around this age, give them antidepressants and give them this estrogen, right? This synthetic fake hormones, estrogen, that'll solve all their problems. It actually does not. Synthetic hormones causes more problems. It's not a good estrogen. And often women do not need more estrogen at all. When they're going through this perimenopause phase, their progesterone is lowering their estrogen is high, then the doctor gives them more estrogen, greater imbalance. You see what I mean? Bad, 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 bad. You actually need progesterone, but a natural source of it. So there's a lot going on that is not good. Doctors need to finally admit and say, listen, I'm not taught this. I don't know anything about it. You should see someone who actually knows more about this, right? Endocrinologists, yes, but they also really specialize in thyroid problems and severe problems with, they're not like menopause specialists or anything, right? They just understand hormones, and they're very hard to get into. You probably won't be able to see an endocrinologist just because you're in menopause. Probably not. Okay. I would see a naturopath. There's a website called Hormones Balance. She's also on hormonesbalance.com. She's also on Facebook. I shared her video on Women Creating Healthy Lives. She is excellent, not just menopause. She's excellent in all hormone imbalances, no matter what age you're at. So if you really want to go deep, deep, deep into the technical aspects of hormones, very detailed, very technical, she goes into it, right? I'm here to help you with energy, health, weight loss in this midlife phase, specific to you going through this phase, okay? That's what I know a lot about. And so, yeah, this low, anyways, we're talking about these hormones too, cortisol and insulin, knowing that each hormone affects the other hormone. So it's like domino effect. You can't just deal with one aspect of your life. It won't be enough. One supplement's not enough. A herb's not enough. Taking ashwagandha is not enough. Taking maca is not enough. Meditating's not enough. Going to yoga 3 times, it's about body, mind, soul. It's what you eat. And we got to look at your exercise, because you could be exercising too much, right? Too much exercise is too much stress. And then also your mindset, how you think about things, how you process things, because our thoughts and our feelings cause stress too, right? So we can get ourselves in a stress situation. So in all my programs, we work on this. And insulin, definitely, I mean, the sugar that's in everything now, even salad dressings, all of that, right, which contributes, as we know, to high blood sugar, high insulin levels, diabetes, a whole lot of problems, cancer, So just note that there's other hormones, dopamine, serotonin, all of those too, that come into play with your moods, and they're affected by these also. They're, like I said, every hormone's affected by every hormone. So note that it's Can your doctor test? Yes, your doctor can test you for cortisol. I don't know about insulin, probably insulin. Yeah, that's the diabetes test. So your doctor can test you for cortisol. Yes. They will let you know if your cortisol levels are high. But really watch what they tell you once they find out, okay? You do not need to take medication, okay? So for cortisol and insulin, I would not take medication that they give you or synthetic hormones. It would be, you need to diet, exercise, stress reduction, all what I help you guys with in my programs, okay? No, they do. It's not standard at all, Stephanie. Yeah, not at all. No, doctors just deal with, if you have a bruise, if you have a broken arm, go see your doctor to get your heart checked, to get your iron levels checked, blood work done, things like that, you go to a doctor for. But if you're like, oh my God, I'm feeling more anxious, I'm feeling more depressed, I'm feeling moody, I'm gaining weight, all that, no, they can't help you with that because they're not trained. They're just not trained in it. It's just not what they're meant to do, right? We all have our things. Okay, so here are some other symptoms with this midlife change. And you can experience a lot of these. You can experience only 2 or 3 of these. Everyone is different. I experienced every single one of them. I'm also more of a high stress person, right? I'm this high boom, 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 go, 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 go person. And I was exercising way overboard when I was in midlife. I mean, I was mountain biking, I was adventure racing, kayaking. I was a personal trainer, one-on-one. I was working out with my clients. I was doing my own workouts on the side. I think I was working out. That was my life. It was constant working out, doing, active. I got completely burnt out. I thought it was all good for me, but I didn't realize that when we enter this midlife phase where our body's already in these stressful situations and we actually need to rest and relax more, that I was going against my body and it was causing the weight gain, causing the breakdown of my body and the depletion of my adrenal glands. Yeah. Wicked time, more digestive problems, right? When you have greater imbalances and you're not bringing your body into better balance, you will get way more of these symptoms. So if you're somebody who experiences a lot of these symptoms, you really got to do something with your body. And note that post-menopause too, it is not too late at all. If you're still dealing with the big belly, you can't lose the weight, any emotional symptoms, and just like frustration, not knowing what to do, then of course there's, start doing something, right? So in your midlife, the weight, fat cells responding to lower hormone levels. As you're going to find out, when your adrenal glands get tired, and they're the ones that produce the cortisol and adrenaline, when they get tired, they can't produce the hormones. And your ovaries are producing less. So basically, your hormones aren't getting produced. So your body's not coming into better balance. What your body does is your fat cells in your belly can produce estrogen, believe it or not. So weird. So your body continually puts on more fat because that's like she needs to produce her hormones and her adrenal glands are tired. Her ovaries are bonking out. Bring on the fat, bring on the fat. Your body's trying to balance itself. As we age, our metabolism does naturally decrease. Very few people actually stay really fit, really active. Some do, some women do. Eating really the right things, and then their metabolism stays really good, right? Those are those kind of people who have always lived that type of a lifestyle, and they're not overdoing it like I did. Insulin resistance, as we talked about, is another contributor to the weight gain. Consistent stress, again. Thyroid problems. This is a hormone that has a huge effect, and your regular MD cannot test properly for thyroid problems. Your scans will most likely come back as okay. They don't test the T3, T4 properly. They see no need for it. It's way beyond them. So again, seeing a naturopath or somebody who's really well versed in women's hormones or really understanding the thyroid and thyroid problems. There's huge amount of undiagnosed thyroid problems in midlife because of this. When your adrenal glands are getting tired, your adrenal glands will directly affect your thyroid. So if your adrenal glands aren't working properly, it'll affect your thyroid. Then your thyroid won't work properly. And we know what can happen there. When you have hypothyroid, it is a lot of symptoms, right? Weight gain, hair loss, tired, cold, exhausted, dark circles. I only have half a thyroid, so I get some of these things because I don't take thyroid medication. Low sex drive, brain fog, all of those types of things, right? Can't concentrate properly. And a lot of those are also symptoms of actually the regular perimenopause. So it's kind of like a perfect storm, and all these things start to happen, and memory problems, and it's just like crazy, right? I'm not losing any big amount, just staying the same, fluctuate within 10 pounds. It's, yes, it is frustrating, Stephanie. And that can happen. It can happen in midlife because we don't know there's something underlying that's still not being dealt with. And it could be somehow your body's still in consistent stress. What you also got to know is that sometimes it's food sensitivities too that you may be unaware of, or past trauma. And that could be like past emotional trauma, things you're still holding on to in your body, emotions that you haven't dealt with, healing that needs to be done. That's the whole spirit, mindset, spirit thing. Also, detoxing is huge. So I did water fast, juice fast, smoothie, colonics, herbal cleanses, acupuncture, energy work, lots of supplements, super powders. You know, there's so many things to work on, and it can get expensive and crazy. And I saw a naturopath, I saw a Chinese doctor. Whew, I did a lot. But it's about kind of like finding what that missing thing is. But also we don't want to stress about it because that makes it worse. When you're focusing on what's not working, your focus is on what's not working. So you're creating more of what's not working. And when you really begin to like just let go of the expectations, right? So you know what it's like when your boss expects too much of you, right? It's like, oh my God, the stress. It's like, I can't take this anymore. So when you're like that with your body in a way, when you're like, oh, why isn't this happening? Why is it going through this? This is so frustrating. Why can't I do right? That's a lot on your body. And so when we think about it like this, as like it's a separate person in a way, what would I need most if I was stressed out or if I was not performing good? Well, I might need rest, nurture, care, time for me, just self-love, like huge amounts of self-love and acceptance, not expecting, right? Let go of the expectations. It doesn't mean you don't desire to lose the weight. It doesn't mean you won't lose the weight, but it's just this whole expectation of I need to lose this. I want to lose this. It's driving me crazy. I don't like my belly. I can't do my pants, all those things, right? That it's all that's getting into your head, into your body. And you're basically telling your body what it is. My body is still overweight. My body can't release this. I don't know what's wrong. There's something wrong with me. So that's just kind of like some of the woo-woo stuff that's related to this too. Another thing about fat and weight is it can be a defense mechanism, a protection mechanism emotionally. You don't even realize it that. So a lot of women that have had past traumas, past physical abuse, anything like that, they will hold on to this extra weight because it buffers them. It makes them feel safe. And also when you are more empath or very more open energetically, so that means you feel other people, you take on energy from other people, you're very emotional, right? You tend to people please, you really worry about other people. That fat is like a buffer between you and the world. And so when the world feels like too much or too crazy, or when you're in a relationship that's abusive or verbally abusive, you pad yourself with this fat, and you're going to hold on to it because it's like, this is my protection. This is my blanket, right? This blankets me. It keeps me secure and safe. So there's that aspect of it too that's quite interesting. And when women heal that inner child, when they heal things like that inside of themselves, when they do a lot of inner work, shadow work, whatever, they can all of a sudden, and this is very true, they release the weight without effort. They're not even focusing on it, and the weight goes away, the fat goes away. And that's a clear signal that you were holding on to that fat as a protection. Your inner child like needed that blanket. So something to think about for anybody who's dealing with this. It's just another aspect of it. Our emotions have a huge effect on our body. So thyroid problems, very, 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 very common. Not eating the right foods. Like I told you, not eating enough of the right foods. Ovaries, decreasing less progesterone. So therefore it relies on our adrenal glands. If our adrenal glands can't do it, put fats. Fat cells produce estrogen, especially if adrenal glands cannot. And by the age of 35, we begin to lose a half a pound of muscle mass each year, and it's replaced by 1.5 pounds of fat. So you're losing muscle, gaining fat, unless you're strength training. So strength training is very, very, very important. Here's the adrenal glands. Ovaries are producing less estrogen, puts fat on the midsection. And then, of course, like we talked about, certain foods that you used to eat, oatmeal, bananas, grapes on their own, all those types of things can go right to fat now. Starches, potatoes, all those things, pastas, even gluten-free stuff. Highly recommend gluten-free, dairy-free. You might even have sensitivities to foods, so you can try going corn-free, soy-free, egg-free. Eggs can have inflammatory responses to some people. And then also you can try nightshade vegetables, which are, I never put that down, but your eggplant, bell peppers, tomatoes, potatoes. Yeah, you can look at nightshade vegetables and greatly decrease those, because those, for me, they're not great for me. So some people can have issues with that when you're eating foods that cause inflammatory things in your body. It's not good for your health or your weight or your hormones. And decreasing alcohol. Alcohol, this phase of life, can really wreak havoc on fat. Fat, yes, cause you to just put on more fat, right? So get moving, find an exercise you enjoy. Again, not over exercising, especially if you're mostly tired, exhausted, a big belly. The idea would be strength training, not overexerting, until you come to the point where you're like, oh, I got man, you're eating right and all that. And all of a sudden you're feeling so much better and you're feeling energetic. Then you begin like HIIT exercises or something. And that's a good way to keep your body strong as well as burn the fat. Look at your schedule and find time. No more stories on I don't have time. I can't do this. I'm too stressed. There's no way I can quit this. My job is this way. I have to work 1,000,000 hours a week. That's your problem. You need to change it, right? That's why your body's not coming into better balance. It's because all these things, it's your lifestyle, most likely, right? And of course, there's those like who have a really good lifestyle, but still, so then there's something underneath that all, right? But you know it, you guys, if you were somebody who's like, you always uses, I'm too busy. I can't even make a healthy meal. I just work too many hours. It's just too crazy. I got too many demands on my time. I have to take care of all these people and all of that. That's on you. You have built your life like that. Now it's time to change it, right? And that's what we work through in my programs too. And it's easy. You just start with one little step at a time. You can look into bioidentical hormones. I took those also during midlife. I kind of hit everything at once, and I did bioidentical hormones. They greatly helped me. And again, learn what are the right foods for this phase of life. You learn that in all my programs, and you get tons of recipes. No more gluten, dairy, fast foods, junk foods, sugar, greatly decrease alcohol. And I also gluten-free products like breads, donuts, I don't care, anything like that. If it's made of a starch, if it's made of highly processed stuff, not good for you, as in for the weight. So minimal, right? I still have gluten-free stuff, just minimal. Stop the excuses, look at your schedule, get rid of the time stealers in your life. I have to do this, or so-and-so needs me, when maybe they don't. Do a detox, smoothie and juice cleanses. Oops, I spelled that wrong. And water fast. So these are some of the things you can really do. Colonics is another thing, right? Enemas, you got to clean out the system. Clean out your system. Does anybody have any questions? There's only a couple of people watching, right? Oh, one person now. Stephanie, you're such a trooper. I seriously thought I'd have way more people watching. It's kind of funny. Curious. It's probably why I shouldn't have a replay. So if you're watching the replay, please post questions below too, because this is really important, right? Now, what can you do? Well, my newest program coming up is Midlife Reset and Recharge. This is I've only done it. This is a new program. I've done it once and I had absolutely fantastic results. 6 weeks. It's to better balance your hormones, stop the middle-aged spread, boost energy, and live with vibrant health, kick the menopause belly and brain to the curb. So these are what we go through, okay? And this is the website, Midlife Reset. I'm going to post this here, and then right now it is only $4.97. That goes up to $5.97. So I really highly recommend you get on this. For anybody who's like, in 6 weeks, you will have the answers like to what you should do and could do. And then it's just you applying those and finding, also tweaking, like, okay, if all of these, because this is about health, right? So I'm doing all the things to help me be healthy and eating the right things. And then, oh, if this isn't working, wow, well, then what else could be going on within me, right? So the most important thing is you get your health in check. You're eating healthy foods. Make sure you're exercising a good amount for you and not in the wrong way, and decreasing stress, which you learn in the program. You're working on all of those things. So you're doing the best for you right now. Then you see, okay, now how am I doing? And then we look at, oh, okay, well, then maybe there's something else that we need to look at, right? But of course, the first thing is like you focus on getting really healthy foods in you, all of that stuff straightened out first. You'll probably decrease so many of your symptoms and all of that, right? It's not just about weight loss, it is about health. The result of super great health and balance in your body is usually weight loss, which is part of it, right? You are the one who gets to design your life. You are responsible for your health. And here are a couple amazing results from that 6-week program. We actually did longer because these women started earlier. So that you really can get these results because, and it goes on and on and on. Here's one, Stephanie knows Jen, she lost 16 pounds in a program of mine. So it's really, you can, although like we said, everybody's different. We don't know what's going on in your body, but why not do everything right? And then let's see where you are, right? So we work on the body. And when you work on your body, all of these things happen. If you're not paying attention to what you eat and how you move your body, and you're just living day to day in survival mode, just trying to get by, just, oh my God, I can't make it. I can't do this. Like all your can'ts, right? I don't have time. Well, your body's going to let you know. It's going to be shutting down. It's going to be breaking down. It's going to be exhausted. You're going to end up burnt out. You may end up with an illness or disease. And then what are you going to do? Right? So when you start to eat properly, when you start to move properly, all of these things can begin to happen. And I've seen it over and over and over and over and over again. And they can start within the first and second week. Here's a couple things for you. Screenshot it, write it down, watch the replay. Now we call this a fat burning tonic, and I don't say things like that. I hate that, but it has been said that. So this first thing in the morning, before your coffee, before your tea, or just hot water with lemon and bitter ginger, cayenne, cinnamon, whatever. If you don't like ginger, don't add ginger. It's no big deal. Chia gel is also fantastic. If you don't know what chia gel is, Google it, look it up. Very important that you hydrate your chia. Chia and grapefruit, really good for helping you lose weight, your body too. Balancing blood sugar levels. It's high in fiber. It's high in calcium. It's high in antioxidants. It's a complete protein. Good for your gut. So many good things about chia. And then grapefruit is supposed to be like a fat burning thing too. Right? So just, you know, a couple things you can have that are super easy just by including these. And green smoothies. I didn't put a green smoothie recipe in here, but green smoothies, I can't stress it enough. 2 green smoothies a day, 1 in the morning, 1 around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And oh, huge difference. And that's with fresh greens and a green powder. Okay. So that is for the food. Then the mind, right? When we work on the mind, this is what stops you. This is what makes you all or nothing, on again, off again, confused, overstressed, overwhelmed, because your mind, you get caught in your head. Okay. So we work on mindset also. And then this brings out, you feel more motivated because you find your inner motivation. You feel inspired. And we work on setting up a mindset so that you get success and quit sabotaging yourself. And staying on track becomes more easy because you actually understand it's not about being perfect. Releasing limiting beliefs, stress reduction tools are huge. Little things you can do throughout the day. Boundaries. That's a big one for some people. And then feeling empowered. You are the one who makes the changes. Take responsibility for you. Own it. Be your best. Do your best for yourself. Love yourself. Accept yourself, right? And that's kind of the soul work too. That faith, trust, and belief in yourself. And we work on this in my programs too, and in Midlife Reset. It is so important. I can't stress enough. Your energy, your emotions, your feelings has a huge effect on your hormones and how your body, as we said, right? Stress, frustration, overwhelm, anger, all of that. Well, they know anger is related to the liver. I mean, all of these things can affect your function of your organs, as well as your hormones. The energy, how it flows through your body. So whether you're going to heal, whether you're not going to heal, whether you're going to sleep properly, which that's when you heal. It's crazy. So just by doing some of these soul practices, connecting to yourself, huge difference. And we got some, oh my goodness, my computer's stuck. Just give it a minute. There we go. Some more testimonials. If you're watching the replay, you can stop this. So I had some testimonials regarding health, like people who greatly improved their health. Their tests from the doctor came back and said, oh my God, what are you doing? You're doing amazing. And what they've learned, and then also like just having it so much easier to eat and live this way after understanding that it's super easy. And then the weight loss, of course, right? Kate, in a few years, lost 30 pounds. Janet got down to a size she was 8 years ago. Sharon, she was her cholesterol levels, her cardiac panel. The doctors were amazed. So, right, it really is the health, and it can result in the weight loss. So we work on it all. It just happens when you take better care of yourself. You deserve so much more. Make a decision, find your why, make better choices, take small, consistent steps. You really need to take responsibility for yourself. Stop the story and the excuses of like, I just can't, there's no way, it won't work for me. I'm not that type of person. Big ones. Think about what you want your future and you to look like, feel like, and be like, because that's what you're going to work towards, right? No more living in just survival, right? Ooh, that affects your body. It is important you will find a way. If it's not, you won't. And this is what happens. People are like, you know, they want something fast and an answer, but they're not willing, let's say, to watch this all the way through or to get it into a program or get some help or hire someone or really do the research themselves and figure out what they got to do and actually take the action. Small percentage do. For those that do, congratulations, you're amazing. right? It is in your moment of decision that your destiny is shaped. So you just decide. I'm going to decide to take care of myself. I'm going to get the answers. Like I said, this 6-week program, 6 weeks. How long have you been working on this? Why don't you get it figured out in 6 weeks? And then whatever's still out after those 6 weeks, oh my God, you've just spent 6 weeks eating amazing, getting healthy, feeling great. And now you just get to work on the other little things and figure out what those are. Become so less overwhelming, so less overwhelming. DianaMarchand.com midlife-reset, $497 right now. It's going up to $597 next week. Get it now. If you want to have a call with me, you can set up a call, no obligation, no cost. I will never force anybody to attend my programs. No. Only want people who want to be there. Okay. And we start about August 12th, which is a Monday, August 12th. It's totally doable. It's with real food. It's not hard at all. You get tons of recipes. We keep it simple. Okay, now, how did we do? 1 hour, well, a little bit longer than I thought, but. So thank you for those watching. Thank you for tuning in to the replay. This is going to be sent out. And for those on the replay, like I said, please make sure to comment. Let me know that you've watched. Let me know if you have any questions. And also message me on Facebook or comment below if you want me to contact you about having a call together to know if this program's right for you or not. It may not be. Who knows? You may not be ready, right? Yeah, I also do one-on-one. So if you'd rather not do a Facebook group program, there's Zoom calls to this. So we get together on Zoom live too, videos, and then it's in a private Facebook group. And we do, I do live videos. You get all your recipes. We do the stress reduction things, the mindset and all that, right? But it's doable within your life. It's not like you're going to spend 5 hours. No. Everybody has their own pace, has their own things they're working towards. On the Zoom calls, I coach you as an individual person, right? So each person gets that time with me according to what they're going through, how they eat, what would be best for them, exercise and food. All right. Okay. Thank you, Stephanie, for being on live. You're so amazing. Oops. I hope I didn't do anything. Oh. So for anybody who wants to do the midlife reset, highly recommend. I don't even know what else to say. It's such a great program. And if you're thinking, oh my God, I don't have that time, I don't know if I'll follow through, that's you not trusting yourself. You're not going to get to trusting yourself unless, again, you decide to trust yourself. I need someone to kick my butt, get me on doing this and not letting me give up on myself. That's what I do too. If you try to do things alone, you'll easily give up on yourself. That's the way we are. Okay, have an absolutely amazing day and night or wherever you are. I'm going to unshare from Facebook. So yeah, so glad you're here. Comment. And like I said, this group is because there's 3.2 thousand people in this group. There should have been 1,000 people on this. Because if you're in this group and you really want to know about this, that's why you're here, right? That's why I do this stuff. Okay, so much love to you.